When people think about improving performance, they usually think about adding more sets, changing exercises, or improving their supplements. Go buy some melatonin pills. Make sure you buy a red light lamp that simulates the rise of the sun. And make sure to read 2 pages of a book before going to bed every night. No, I'm not going to talk about these 5 best tips to improve your sleep quality. I'm going to go deep into what I actually do every day to improve my sleep quality in order to improve my physical performance during my training sessions. I thought that as long as I was getting 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night, just passively staying in my bed, everything was okay and it was just fine. But actually, it isn't. Now, let's be honest. If you're a young person like me and you have trouble falling asleep every night, the options are two. Either you're not getting tired enough during the day, or you're getting too stimulated before going to bed. And in both cases, this is not okay. If I'm intentional with my programming, with my nutrition, my training sessions, why would I leave recovery to chance and not plan it as if it was a training session? Once I understood this, I stopped seeing sleep as rest, but actually started thinking about it as a performance block. So let's get into the habits that actually helped me the most develop a strong sleeping schedule. First of all, fixed timing. I go to bed almost at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every day, even if I don't feel like doing it. When you go to sleep at random hours without a fixed schedule, your body continuously has to adapt, and adaptation costs energy. When you keep a fixed rhythm, your body anticipates sleep, and recovery becomes deeper and more efficient. So try to set a constant bedtime and waking time in order to make it easy for your body to adapt, anticipate your sleep, anticipate your wakefulness, and just try to build a routine around it. Second point, eliminate stimulation before bed. So I do not scroll before going to bed, I do not consume chaotic content, and I do not look at any screen. So you've probably noticed that if you expose yourself to a strong content, strong lights and sounds, and then you try to go to bed, well, even if your body is tired, your mind is awake and it's very stimulated, so you'll have trouble falling asleep. So your mind stays alert even if your body wants to shut off. And remember, this is true also for movies, not only scrolling on TikTok. So any type of digital content should be absolutely avoided, in my opinion, for at least 1 hour before bedtime. So make sure to have a good sleep hygiene, meaning you're not watching any screen before going to bed, because light exposure from digital content increases cortisol and decreases melatonin in your body. So increasing cortisol will of course lower your sleep quality. If you really find yourself needing to be entertained before going to bed in some way, please substitute the entertainment you get from your phone or your computer or your television, whatever, with something not digital. For example, a book. Now, if it's a habit you did not develop yet, the one of reading, it's a good time to start. Just a couple of pages before going to bed can really help you shut your brain and body off, prepare for a good night's sleep, and in the meantime, why not learn something new? Number 3, temperature and darkness. So these aspects are extremely important. Make sure the room that you sleep in is totally dark with no sources of light. Turn your phone off totally, so you're sure the screen won't turn on if you receive any notifications. No small red light from your TV or your computer or whatever. No notifications blinking, and make sure you can reduce the noise as much as possible. Now, I realize this is not always possible, but still, buy some earplugs or something that allows you to stay in total silence, because this will really help you and your body fall into deep sleep. Number 4, food timing and caloric intake before going to bed. In fact, having a lot of blood in your stomach required for digestion implies your sleep quality will be decreased. So in general, I prefer finishing my last meal of the day at least a couple of hours before going to bed. In this way, my body, the engine inside me, doesn't have to work hard for digestion while falling asleep. The last tip I want to give you, which could sound a bit controversial perhaps, is sleep with tape on your mouth. I've been doing it for the past 2 years and it has drastically improved my sleep quality. Sleeping with tape on your mouth forces you to breathe from your nose. And mouth breathing on the opposite side, which is an extremely common problem even if you don't know you have it, increases snoring, sleep apnea, and it dries out your airways. Now these three problems can really decrease your sleep quality and actually leads to long-term damages to your whole body, performance, and actually intelligence. So in the next video I'll talk really in detail about it, but to limit ourselves to the sleep environment which we're talking about today, I would really recommend trying it out. Now many people think, oh, I'll suffocate in the night. No, you won't. And if you have some problems breathing, just take it off, no problem. An interesting fact is that when I started sleeping with tape on my mouth, I actually stopped sleeping on my stomach, which I've basically done for the biggest part of my life. And sleeping on your stomach is extremely unhealthy, so please don't do it. First of all, because you're forced to sleep with your head sideways, which is very bad for your backbone and your spine. And second of all, you're compressing your chest and your stomach, so your organs are not benefiting from your posture. Now, once I started sleeping with tape on my mouth, I actually started sleeping on my side, on my shoulder, and sometimes even facing upwards, which is way better and way more natural for us. So there was a period in which I underestimated sleep and I tried to compensate with discipline. I slept 7 hours per night consistently, which was definitely not enough. I woke up extremely tired and extremely demotivated. Nevertheless, I faced my day with strong discipline, telling myself, oh no, you're super tired because for the past month you've underslept every night, but I don't care, you're gonna still have to push at the gym at your training sessions in the swimming pool. Now, okay, I trained my discipline, but this really was not smart. I was just damaging my body permanently. I convinced myself that mental toughness could overcome biological limits, which of course is impossible. So yeah, you can force intensity for a while, but eventually the output will drop naturally. So please guys, in conclusion, make sure you're sleeping enough, because staying in bed 8 hours does not mean having an 8 hour sleep time, because as I've said many times, sleep efficiency is not 100%. If you want to actually sleep 8 hours, you've got to stay in bed at least for 8.5 hours or even 9. So make sure you sleep enough, implement the suggestions I gave you today in order to increase your sleep quality, and you'll see long-term benefits on your health, on your performance in your training sessions, and in every other aspect of your life. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next one because I'll go deep into mouth breathing and its effects on our body.